We are back, ladies and gentlemen. Today on the podcast, we're talking about who can teach and UFC 220. See you in a minute. All right, guys, welcome back. I am Bill Jones, head instructor, top level martial arts. I am the co-host here at Black Belt Tips. With me, as always, my friend, my co-host, my pal, my chum, my comrade, slightly above novice in all things, although he just turned away so that his voice projects away from the microphone, Mr. Edward Whitney.
How you doing, Bill?
Good, man. What's up?
Life is good.
Welcome back.
Oh, man.
So we have had a hiatus.
Yes.
We've been out for 4 weeks, man.
Has it been that long?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because we recorded one and it didn't work out. But anyway.
Yeah.
So it ended up in the trash bin somehow.
Yeah.
And so
and I was gone for 2 weeks.
Yeah, we took some time off during the holidays, and we're back.
Energized and ready to go.
Yeah, man. Yeah, ready to go. Guys, we also have another special guest with us today. His name is Robbie. Robbie's going to go ahead and just bang all over shit because he don't care about if you guys are hearing ringing and sounds and things.
Sorry.
No, with us is Mr. Robbie Gorham. He's also an instructor in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, blue belt here at Top Level Martial Arts, helps teach the kids and stuff. He's a great guy. Veteran of the United States Army.
Black belt in Taekwondo.
Black belt in Taekwondo. Been training martial arts a long time. Yeah, Robbie?
Yeah.
How you doing, man?
About 11 years. I'm not bad.
11 years.
Happy to be here.
That's like how old you are, isn't it? 11?
It's close, man.
That's how much older we are than him.
Yeah, I think I've got him beat by more than that.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
What are you, 26?
I'm 26.
Yeah, I got him beat by 12 years.
Yeah. Nice.
So
Year difference.
we had a lot come out recently, right? Lots going on with the UFC. Lots going on with people are freaking out over something that the some Jiu-Jitsu federation in Brazil put down. All kinds of stuff going on.
Yeah, MMA is really hot right now. It's a really exciting time to be a fan.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's a good time right now.
All right. Well, before we get to that, let's. How was your vacation?
Oh, man, it was awesome.
Where'd you go?
Pretty much America.
Okay, you lived there.
Yeah.
Had you not driven anywhere, you would have been in America.
Yeah,
so
I mean, we
little
hit,
more specifics.
Specifically, Kansas, Colorado, Missouri, Texas, Oklahoma, Arizona, New Mexico, Nevada, and California.
Wow.
Yes.
Long drive.
Yeah, man, it was awesome.
Sounds like torture.
I bet California was awful.
We were only in California for a brief moment. We just clipped the tip so the kids could say that they hit that state.
Just a tip?
Just to
see how it feels?
Just the tip. Just the tip. Yeah, I'll be honest with you, man. In Nevada, I had about a 2-hour period where I wasn't coming back.
Yeah.
You guys might not know this about me, but I'm from Nevada.
Yeah.
It really felt like home, man.
Son of Vegas.
It was so dry and warm. You know what I mean? It was just amazing.
That sounds fun. Now, Robbie, you had an adventure too. Didn't you go on vacation? All you guys left for weeks at a time.
Yeah, we did.
I feel like my adventure wasn't as fun. I had to go visit the mother-in-law in El Paso, Texas.
I took about Grand Canyon.
Took about 2 days until my parenting got called into question.
Oh,
remember that anything you say on here does not get edited out.
So. She will not read it, so it's okay or hear it, any of it. So
if she reads our podcast,
yeah, my bad.
Awesome.
I don't think you know how podcasts work.
Zero clue.
Yeah. So, anything cool happened on your trip, Robbie?
I just got a couple tattoos.
Oh yeah, I see the one.
I tried to go and do jiu-jitsu down there, but
is that a rash guard you're wearing?
It's got a giant carp on there.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, just so you know, koi is the Japanese word for carp.
Is it?
Just so you know,
educated.
They're the same fish.
Turns out they translate.
I had no idea. I'm the kind of person who's just like, that looks cool, put that on my body.
I don't know if you know, it's a very revered fish in Japan.
Yeah.
I know
for its toughness.
Korea means luck.
Okay. Yeah. Yes, I'd say the highlight of my trip, and this is going to sound a little cruel, but have you guys ever seen like those bighorn sheep or the ram? Like they have like the ram horns.
Yeah.
They're rams.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was a bighorn sheep.
Oh, okay, I didn't know there was a difference.
It looks like a ram.
Yeah, but like they're always hopping like a mountain goat.
Yeah, and
they like hop up the side of a mountain and they're like
across a flat
you.
cliff, basically, right?
Yeah.
So
they you ever play Skyrim? Like in Skyrim, how you can just strafe up the side of mountains.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very much like that. And they just stand up there all cocky and arrogant, like, look what I can do. And they're standing on a golf ball-sized rock with their entire body. So the highlight of my trip is I seen one of them eat shit.
What do you mean eat shit? Like it ate poop?
No, so he's hopping on the mountain, all cocky and arrogant like they do, and all of a sudden loses his footing and does about a 10 or a 15-foot head dive right into a snowbank, and then tumbles out of the snowbank and continues tumbling down the hill. He was fine, but I felt compelled to roll my car window down and yell at him, "That's what you get, you arrogant fuck!" I couldn't help it.
So you're yelling
at a sheep.
at a fucking mountain goat
In the middle of the Rocky Mountains. Nobody around.
Now, did it look like it got hurt or anything?
Nah,
That
he
sounds
was
like it
fine.
would hurt.
Nah, he was fine. He jumped right up and went right back up the cliff like it was nothing.
So my question is, you think he did that? Like, you know how like when you're walking through the parking lot or whatever, and like you like slip or whatever, and then like you really quickly like, just keep going like it was nothing, like no big deal. But then you get in and you're
like,
in the car and you're like, oh God, I think I tore my groin.
My back hurts. My back hurts.
Like, you think he was just pulling one of those? Like,
Maybe.
Like, ain't no big deal. Ain't no thing.
Ain't no thing. This is what I do. Yeah.
Bah, the sheep.
Nah, he ran off like he was fine, but it was just because you like watch him on National Geographics, and they never have issue. You know what I mean? They're like getting chased by a puma, just hopping from rock to rock like it's nothing. But just to watch one actually fail, it was pretty awesome.
Bighorn sheep fails.
Yeah, or ram. I'm not sure of the name. But,
Okay.
but like, see how in Ohio we have like deer crossing signs?
Yeah.
They have those on their animal crossing signs. It's a picture of that ram like leaping across the road.
Awesome.
Yeah, so they're everywhere out there.
That's great.
Yep.
I love that it fell down. And,
Yeah, it was
like,
pretty-
and like your first response wasn't, "Oh, I hope it's okay." It's like, that's what you get, that you arrogant prick.
Fuck.
It's a sheep. For
They
God's
just seem
sakes.
so cocky to me when they're standing up there.
You know what sheep? The bighorn sheep, the cocky prick of the
Yeah.
animal kingdom.
Yep. Exactly.
Oh man, that's
Yeah.
funny stuff, dude.
And then, so we're driving through Arizona, and my kids did fantastic on this trip. Only had one, maybe two fights in a 2-week period, which is incredible. But one of the fights,
Straight up fist fights.
No, I mean the one was, yeah, they were hitting.
You tie a
each other.
rope to their ankles
Yeah,
and be
yeah.
like, whoever survives.
Whoever gets the knockout eats tonight.
Okay.
That's how we play.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Yeah, but so the one fight they have is on this lonely highway in Arizona, and I haven't seen a headlight in like 20 minutes. And all of a sudden, the kids start fighting, so I'm doing the leaning over the shoulder, yelling at them, and I drift into the other lane. And of course, at that moment, I realize I'm drifting, and I swerve back real quick. And of course, the one car that I see in a 30-minute period, Arizona State Trooper, lights me up instantly.
Please tell me you got a ticket.
I did not. I got a warning. I got a warning, and he is actually a really, really nice guy, and he thanked us for coming to Arizona. And
Oh, well, that's cool.
yeah, once I told him what was going on,
Visit Arizona, guys. They got nice people.
Yeah, State Trooper was awesome, man. Really nice guy.
All right.
Yeah, but other than that, man, it was really uneventful, exactly like I imagined it.
Any sweet stories from you, Robbie?
No, not really. I'm telling you, my trip was just, I wanted to get in and get out. I wanted to come home so bad.
It was a little different. Like, you were going because you had to.
Yeah,
Ed
I was trying to
Ed
explain
was
to
going because he
the.
wanted to.
I was trying to explain to the wife, like, you know how it is being in the Army. Whenever you go home on leave, that first week is just super exciting. You want to
Yeah.
see everybody, get to do all your events, and then that last week is just like, so, is it about ready to go? Because the family just wants to ride your ass on everything. And my wife, I told her it was going to be the second week, and she lasted 3 days. She was like, I'm about ready to go home. She's like, if it wasn't for you going to get your tattoos, we'd be out of here.
Why didn't you go get them earlier and leave?
Yeah, I wish. We didn't
There's a
call
lot of
schedule.
tattoo parlors, man.
Yeah, but I don't want to start one in another place and then spend crazy money in a different one.
Dude, you live in Ohio, so you started one
They're
here. It's not colored.
I didn't do it here. I did it down there. They're
Well,
way
my
cheaper
point is, you
Yeah,
started it down there, but where are you going to get it colored?
back down there.
Yeah, it is
crazy.
a lot
I'm
cheaper.
gonna have
down
to
there.
swallow.
What?
Swallow that fucking dick and go back down there again.
Oh, what?
Left.
Where did we go?
What
What
just
just
happened?
happened?
I thought we were talking about tattoos.
I think I missed something. You millennials and your terms and
Man.
phrases.
I'm just gonna go suck a big fat dick. Like, dude, I don't. I don't think.
Oh man, I'm gonna
Jeez.
edit this one. No, I mean, I'm not going to edit that out. I mean, I'm going to make a bunch of clips of you and Ed just saying what you...
Oh, you can't isolate me as I repeat somebody else. That's cold.
Oh, I have the technology.
I can. It's right there on my laptop. Watch me do it. Watch me do it. Nice.
All right. Well, this has been an eventful start to the podcast. I'm glad we're in, and the introductions are out of the way, and we've decided everybody here has some interesting desires. So I don't know. I guess I'll kick it off. One of the things I saw online that was kind of controversial in the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu world was, and I again with my masterful research abilities. I believe it's called the Global Jiu-Jitsu Federation, or it's not the JJGF. It's not the one run by Hicks and Gracie, and it's not the IBJJF. It's the one that's in Brazil.
I think it's the one that was originally founded by Elio.
Yeah, it is. And
Okay.
I forget what its initials are. Yeah. There's so many of them. But the point is, it reissued a statement from years ago. Well, actually, I'll just put it out this way. A statement showed up on their Twitter or a Facebook account that basically said, listen, don't forget that that only black belts are allowed to teach jiu-jitsu. Specifically, it said, remember that purple and brown belts aren't supposed to be teaching jiu-jitsu. And to give anybody some context as to what that's saying, to become a purple belt in Brazilian jiu-jitsu usually takes about 6-7 years.
It's definitely way longer than it takes to get a black belt in most martial
arts. Yeah, exactly. And that's what I was going to say. The average black belt in most martial arts is 3 to 4 years. So it's very common to see blue belts, purple belts, brown belts teaching jiu-jitsu at some level.
Yeah.
Like usually, our blue belts here, you guys mostly teach kids classes. Ed, you're getting up there, so I'm giving you some more responsibility. You've been teaching some of the very beginner classes.
The basic one-on-one
But
classes.
the other thing that I do here is I certify you guys to teach. We go through a lot of pedagogy training and stuff like that. But like, so it's kind of like telling someone who's, I don't even know the bet, but like, it was basically a huge insult.
Yeah.
Because especially in the United States, a lot of instructors are brown belts and purple belts, and have committed a ton of time to getting good at this, and so it freaked everybody out. What's your opinion on these things, guys?
One of the things that really worried me about it was when I first came into jiu-jitsu, it was probably back in 2009, and around the time that I got my blue belt in 2011, the only people that we had the huge influences on were other purple belts. Like purple belts were that big rank that you really want to hit, and like if I didn't have those purple belts to teach me, I would have never learned jiu-jitsu. Yeah. So the only black belt I ever knew about was Eduardo, and I met him on one occasion.
Talking about Eduardo Barros out of Akron, Ohio.
Yes, I met him one time.
He's Brazilian. He came in from Brazil.
Yeah. I was like, I knew he came up and we heard about a lot of his stories about him doing wrestling, and the wrestling coaches down there being like, I don't know what you're doing, son, but keep on doing it. Because he was like smashing kids. But I met him on one occasion, and really, I don't even think he really taught us. He just came in and whooped our butts and was like, yelled at me for trying to jump over a butterfly guard, and
jerk.
Yeah, and left.
And left.
Yeah, so
it's like, Robbie, your butterfly guard sucks.
Dude, my direct influence was blue belts and purple belts. Those were like the guys that I got all of my knowledge from, and then I went off to the Army, and I feel like after the 6 years that I was gone and came back, now there's so many brown belts. I know like a bunch of your friends, the black belts. I get you. I don't know.
I think I
Times
trained
have changed a bit, but
about 4 or 5 months before I ever trained with you, Bill. Like, my first instructor was a purple belt, Nate August.
Yeah.
He's a brown belt now.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I didn't notice, like, a difference between what I was learning from him versus what I was learning from you.
Yeah.
I mean, yours was more refined, and you were probably better suited to answer, like, highly technical questions. But as far as, like, teaching the curriculum and stuff...
Self-defense.
Yeah, and I think that's a big part of it. And so let me give some more context. So I put for anybody who doesn't know, I have a Facebook business group that's specifically for, like, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu business owners. It's called BJJ Business. And in it, I kind of copied and pasted the article and said, hey, don't let anybody teach you how to run your school. Like, unless they're going to pay your bills for you.
Yeah.
They don't have any right to talk to you about that kind of stuff and tell you who can teach and who can't and all that kind of thing. Now, obviously, you don't want nobody to teach. You don't want to like a first day white belt to teach. They don't know what they're doing. But even a blue belt is a legitimately tough human being.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know any blue belt at all that's a wimp.
No.
Like, you've got to be tough.
You made
to
it through
there.
white belt.
Yeah, it's tough. It's
You
hard.
made it.
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu training in a lot of ways is very thankless for a very long period of time. And so, you know, it's just like any other endeavor like that. But these people know what they're doing. And so I posted this, and then a gentleman posted something, and he said, hey, listen, I agree with what you're saying. He goes, I do think it's a BS rule, but here's where it came from. And I thought this gave it a little bit of, more context and made me understand a little better. And what he said was that rule has actually been in place for over 20 years.
Yep.
All they did was kind of reiterate it and just remind people. And that it came from a law in Brazil. So it was posted in Brazil. It wasn't posted in the United States. It was just, you know, we took it and said, hey, fuck these guys.
Yeah,
right? That's
what
we
don't
did.
tell me what to do.
But it was posted in Brazil in Portuguese, you know, and said, hey, don't forget about this rule. And the reason is there's a law in Brazil that says you can't be teaching things unless you are a certified teacher. You have a degree in education. And that the only caveats to that are like personal trainers and things who have to have an equivalent amount of training of sorts.
Okay.
And so basically what they're saying is we don't want people who have went to a weekend course teaching shit.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You know what I mean? They're trying to protect their things. You know, but believe what you know, whatever you feel about that politically is on you. But that's the reason for that rule existing. And so anyway, that's the reason it existed, and all they were doing was reiterating that the rule exists. So given that information, what do you think about it?
I agree with
keeping politics out of it. I mean,
yeah, I
think
agree
it's a
with
fucking
the
stupid political
concept of it. Like, it makes sense. Only qualified people can teach.
Mm-hmm.
But my argument would be it takes 4 years to get a bachelor's degree to teach school.
Yeah.
But it takes 5 or 6 years to get a purple belt.
Right.
Yeah.
How is that not the equivalent level of training?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, and going back to even what you said earlier, Robbie, like how long did it take you to get a black belt? 2 years? 3 years?
Yeah, 2 or 3 years, yeah.
Yeah, what
And
about
black
karate
belts
schools?
in karate schools can teach. Like, that's their standard. So, I mean, really the way I see it is it's a rule that's egotistical, and it's designed to try to hold people back and reduce the amount of competition that's available. That's my feeling on it. So
I mean, at least in the sense that it was presented this time, I would agree with that.
yeah, and there's really no reason unless Brazil's cracking down on it. Why the hell else would they
Did you
feel they
pump
need
it
to
out
remind
there?
it?
Yeah.
And that's the other thing this guy said was that, you know, there's been a lot of purple and brown belts opening schools in Brazil, and so they wanted to remind people that this rule exists.
Yeah,
and so
that if it's motivated by that, then yes, I totally agree with it. But like I said, I always like to find the good in things, and I would like to believe that it was created originally with the mindset of people getting quality education in whatever subject it is.
yeah.
But based on what you're saying, it sounds like somebody doesn't want a really good brown
Yeah,
belt
well,
moving in across the street.
I mean, it'd be kind of,
Yeah.
it sounded like a convenient way to write a rule based on a law. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
oh, well, this law exists. Let's make this really convenient for us so that it's hard for anyone else to move in.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like a couple years ago, Ohio tried to pass a marijuana law,
Yep.
but a lot of people didn't like it because it, well,
Monopolize it?
yeah, there was
I've
there
seen
was
that.
the fear of a monopoly that basically like only 10 companies would be able to produce the marijuana.
Yeah.
You know, believe or you know whatever your feelings on marijuana. That's why a lot of people didn't vote for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it got
and
kicked out. I remember because I was getting ready to get
it
out of the
got
army.
destroyed.
And I was super excited. I was like, oh, it's going to be legal. And they're like, no, they're making a monopoly. No one's voting for it.
Yeah.
So
I was like, whoa, okay.
anyway, you know, so it's kind of like that. It's kind of like if you said this law is coming into place, how can we monopolize on it?
Yeah.
I don't know, but in the end, do what you want.
So I can still teach class.
Yes.
Cool.
I honestly kind of wish,
That's all I
like,
care.
Yeah, and until someone. So here's the way I look at it. I can show notes, training videos, and everything else that shows exactly how I train you guys.
Yeah.
And the fact, I mean, this week we have a refresher course coming up.
Yeah.
Sunday.
So you know, and I have 2 college degrees, and you know what I mean. Like, I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
and we had 2 people start just the other day, and you had to do a private lesson with them. Ed, what were they saying? You know what? I'll say it.
Yeah, because I'm like,
you don't like to brag, but they're like, this guy's an amazing instructor. You know what I mean? Like, and you're a blue belt. Now you're getting ready for purple. You're a blue belt with 4 stripes, but
Yeah, for sure.
But they were just amazed at how well organized we were, and that there's a curriculum, and that not only is there one, but you know exactly how to teach it.
They know what to expect.
And,
Yeah.
And I don't mean to sound boastful, but they came from a school that was run by a black belt.
Yeah.
That was their comparison.
You should be proud of that, for real, because I see it too. I get a lot of the firsthand comments from the parents and stuff when you walk away, and people speak very highly of you.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, like you should. I'm telling you, and that's especially too from being in the military and traveling around to different places and training different places in the world. I'm telling you, this is the best school, like one of the best ones I've ever been to, and there's a reason why I won't leave. It's been a year now. I ain't going anywhere.
Well,
All right,
we're
that's
glad.
enough of the Ed is awesome fest. I'm getting
Yeah,
really
I mean,
uncomfortable. I'm
I
sorry.
immediately corrected them and said, no, he's a douchebag.
Yeah, that's what I said too. I'm like, I just got you guys wooed right now.
Yeah.
You're gonna find out.
It's the hair. It's really the hair. They saw the hair, and they were just really taking. They're like, it's kind of like a comb over, but not really.
Not really. It's kind of like he's still trying to be cool with
It's
not
thinning.
totally dad hair.
It's thinning, but
Yeah, he folds it over real nice to hide it.
I'm just messing with you. I'm just messing. No, but Robbie, it's cool because you and I, we are like lush up there, man. Lush hair up here. Yeah, can I put my hand through your locks? Oh my gosh,
That was uncomfortable for all of us.
it's like it was not uncomfortable for me.
I like the fact you had to wipe the grease
Yeah,
off your hand
yeah,
right
that's what I was thinking. I was
afterwards.
like, is it
You
dirty?
wiped it off.
So what else we got going on? UFC 220 coming up, right?
Man.
Anybody good
Exciting.
fighting?
A couple of guys.
Anybody that can beat you?
Maybe Francis Ngannou. Maybe.
Who?
Francis Ngannou. He's that world destroyer that's like sweeping through the heavyweight division currently.
Gigantic.
Lighten up, Francis.
Yeah, he's that guy that knocked Alistair Overeem into a different dimension.
I still got to see this highlight.
Oh,
People
you have
talk
not
about
seen
it.
this?
I have
seen
not.
it. So
Pull it up.
sick.
Pull it up, Robbie. Robbie will pull it up right now. I'll take a look at it. Well,
The
this
terrifying
will be our
part,
reaction podcast.
the terrifying part for me is the way Alistair was like vibrating for about 5 minutes.
Wait, what?
He was laying on the ground unconscious, and his entire body was like vibrating for like 5 minutes.
Oh god, I got to see this. Robbie's pulling it up
Here's
right now.
the
It
full
was-
KO right here.
Here we go. Okay, I'm gonna watch it. All right, so we got this guy. They look scary. They all look scary. Who's this guy?
This is that's Francis Ngannou.
Okay,
He's massive.
he's got some highlights. He's
Yeah,
got the
he-
90s style
He
flat
has
top and
frosted
highlights.
tips, and nobody's saying shit.
And that's Overeem, right?
That's Alistair Overeem.
my wife's secret crush.
How
Alistair
far
Overeem.
into the match does it happen? Oh, this
This is just the
highlights.
highlight of the knockout.
Yeah.
So it'll be real
Oh,
quick.
you'll know it when you see it.
It's pretty bad.
Come on, Frosty. Oh!
Gadoosh!
That hammer fist afterwards too, man. I'm like, oh, you already killed him.
Watch.
Boom!
He threw that shovel hook from... He like reached into the crowd.
He dug into hell and pulled it up out of
Yes,
there.
he came out
He
flaming.
brought a demon with it.
Satan's head was on the end of his glove as it connected.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so
That's
yeah,
the guy fighting Stipe.
I don't want to get hit by that. That looked like an old school Mike Tyson knockout.
That's
man.
what I was
That
telling you. He's the first guy I've seen. Him and Deontay Wilder, a guy in boxing. They're both doing it. That's why I think 2 years from now, that's the next Conor Floyd Mayweather super fight crossover.
Mm-hmm.
And the winner of Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder against Francis Ngannou.
Yeah.
I'm calling it 2 years ahead of time.
I hope Stipe ends his career like this.
I do
fight.
too. Oh, dude, I'm a big Stipe fan. You know,
Yeah.
he's from Ohio. He's
That's really what it is.
You
You
know?
could be a piece of shit, but if you're from Ohio, I'm behind you 100%. I'm like, kill him.
yep, pretty much. Pretty
Like, I
much.
need it.
Oh man.
Yep.
Not that I think Stipe's a piece of shit. Please don't come in here and murder me. All right, I'm
Yeah,
gonna throw that out there right
He's only
there.
30 minutes away.
Yeah, he's right up the street.
Stipe, I tell you what, you're listening. You come in anytime you want and murder Robbie.
He
We
pulls
will
up in a
not. We
fire
will
truck.
love to watch. Yes, pull up in your fire truck, lights blaring, get out, still dressed. Don't even take off your boots. Walk in the mat with your boots. Challenge Robbie to a fight right there.
Stipe's the only guy allowed shoes on the mat.
I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
I clean those mats. I might actually fight him for that.
You'd fighting for the boots.
Like, dude, you can't take those boots off. Come on, man. I
Come
gotta
on,
clean these
man.
mats.
I get you the
How you
champ.
go- how you
I
gonna
know
do
you're
me
the
like
champ.
that?
You'll always be the champ in my eyes.
Come on,
but,
champ. You
come
can't
on,
do that.
champ.
Drinking all that salt in here. What are you doing?
Oh. Doesn't that just sound like a horrible role? Like
It just makes me so
rock
mad.
salt
I'm
on
like,
that?
I respected you like 10 minutes ago.
I thought you were the greatest, Stipe.
That's it. No, I hope you get knocked out.
But here's the
Come in here,
story
Rick James
that I
it.
think's getting swept under the rug with that, is if Stipe wins, this will be the longest or most heavyweight title defenses in UFC history.
Damn,
So he's
really?
already tied for it.
Yeah, he's already tied it, and if he
That's amazing.
wins,
That's awesome.
he'll be the
What's amazing about it is it's the case and nobody's really talking about it.
yeah. It's because Francis Ngannou has looked like such a world beater. Everybody's caught up in the hype train.
Yeah, like for example, this year the Patriots if they go to the Super Bowl, people are going to be talking for weeks about how that if they win, they will be the most winning.
Yeah,
They have the most Super Bowl wins
yeah.
ever.
Fuck
Yep.
the Patriots.
Right now they're tied with the Steelers, I believe. So,
Yep.
Same thing if the Steelers go, and I'm a Steelers fan, so I'm hoping they do, and I'm hoping they win. But like.
Yeah.
Yeah,
how is it not a
for
story?
some reason, because Stipe is just a nice guy who doesn't like showboat and doesn't go out and say fuck the world, and
Yeah.
he comes back to Ohio, and
He's always talking about
Jump-
cutting his grass.
cuts his grass.
He's always talking about I got
Has
to
a
do
beer.
training so I can go cut my grass. And he talks about his riding lawnmower and remodeling his kitchen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? These are like things I can connect
he's
with.
like an average dad.
Because it's
family man.
Ohio, man.
Yeah, like he
But
lives
because
the
of that,
same
like
life
they,
as me.
it's like they don't think that that's an interesting thing to people, and in fact, I think it's the most interesting thing
Yes.
about him.
A regular ass dude
Yeah,
who can just fight amazing.
yeah, like they should really be selling that.
Yeah. And if you look at the people who Stipe's beat, like you know who they all are. And you don't watch MMA. Like
Yeah.
you would recognize these names. You'd be like, oh shit, he beat him?
Yeah,
Like, I mean, I don't know. I think he's just getting undersold. He may go in there and get his head punched off.
I hope not.
I do
I
too.
hope he kills
I
him.
hope it's a good fight.
Yeah.
Actually, no. I hope he either wrecks. Is it Ngannou?
Ngannou.
Ngannou. I hope he either wrecks Ngannou
Yeah.
or it's at least a good fight.
Yeah.
That'd be cool if honestly if it went all the way to like decision and it was just like a battle. That'd be pretty awesome. But I really do want to see Stipe knock him out.
That's rare in the heavyweight division.
Yeah, I
It
was gonna
really
say,
is.
If I had $1,000
Especially
to
with
bet,
both
I
of
would-
these guys,
I
they're
would
like
take 5-1 odds against it going the distance.
I would
Really?
too. Like they're
That's
Yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah. I'm pretty confident somebody's going
What about
sleepy
1-1
time.
odds?
I would take that for sure. That's even money. I'll take even money on that bet all day.
No matter what.
they both are really some like the biggest heavy hitters.
Yeah, they
in the
starch
UFC.
everybody. And Stipe does it in like a highly technical, I guess not technical, just very compact punches. Like he knocked
Yeah, they don't look powerful.
What was that
Clearly
fight?
they
'Cause
are.
he got-
Fabricio Verdum. He
Yeah.
knocked him out falling backwards with like just a short little cross. I mean, it traveled maybe 8 inches and,
Wow.
and slept him. Just
Well, you know what it is. This is the truth. He trained a lot with Bruce Lee on the 1-inch punch.
He's like
I hope people quote me on that.
yeah.
That becomes a meme.
Couldn't be his awesome team that he's a part of. It's none of that.
Well, no, I hear he sneaks in some training with Steven Seagal as well. Working
I bet that's what it is.
working on his.
That's
his,
a little more. You seen what he did
Kodegash.
for Anderson Silva. Anderson Silva was just a regular guy until he trained with Steven Seagal and he learned that front kick.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, DC's fighting Ozdemir on that same card. Daniel Cormier.
Okay.
Yeah. And Volkan Ozdemir is the light heavyweight equivalent of Francis Ngannou.
Vulcan is actually a name now.
Yeah, that's his first name.
I've actually never heard of him.
And he's just he's knocked a lot of people out. He's got a lot of hype behind him. Same thing with Francis. But in all honesty, last time I seen someone get hyped as much as Francis Ngannou was probably either Conor or Brock Lesnar.
Okay.
And we both know how both of those guys turned out.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I'd say he's even more hyped than Ronda Rousey was.
Really?
Yeah, when she first came in.
I don't think so.
Um,
Ronda Rousey also had the female aspect going for her in that like the rest of the world was talking about her.
Well, see, I'm not saying like the end result of how much people are talking. I'm saying about
Well, that's what hype is, though,
the
right?
amount of hype that the UFC is generating.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
the amount of resources they're.
What are you
pouring
reading over
into.
there, Robbie?
I had to look up who the Vulcan guy was. I've never
Volkan Ozdemir?
heard of him.
His name's Spock.
Spock.
Yeah, he's from the planet Vulcan.
Live long and prosper. It's not
Yeah.
real, Ed.
What?
It's not real.
Are you serious?
Gosh,
That was
idiot.
next year's vacation.
Well, were you gonna drive?
We're going to drive to Vulcan. Shit.
Hold on, honey.
Chains of plans. Looks like it's Florida
We've got to
after
get
all.
exit velocity going on.
Looks like we're going to Florida after all.
I just need to hurry up and follow you on these vacations and stop going down to El Paso. You're just hitting all the best places, and I'm like, back to the desert. Like,
In all honesty, dude, the desert was the highlight of my trip. Like I said, Nevada.
were you in? Okay, I was about to say Arizona, Nevada. That is a real desert. There's life. It is nice. Where I'm at, it's like a stone throw from Mexico. I could take a hop across the border, get killed for being white. I can stay over there where there's no life. It's super hot, and then get yelled at by the mother-in-law. It is not a vacation.
I tend to feel like Bill felt about my trip. That does sound like torture. If it makes you feel any better, dude, my mother-in-law was not a huge fan of me. But after about 5 or 6 years of being a good husband and a good dad, they start to come around.
Yeah, but you had to be a good husband and a good dad.
I don't know how he is as a husband, but he's a really good dad.
I'd beat her. I'd beat her, clearly.
Yeah, right.
Wow.
She's at home enjoying the warm house, watching
This is the
the
podcast. that ends
soaps.
us.
They're like, wow, we need to kick him out of here. He's great.
We all know better, Robbie.
We know better. This is what people are going to want. They're going to be like, bring that guy on board.
Yeah.
He talks about all kinds of stuff.
No.
What else is going on? I see some arrows.
The Bellator heavyweight tournament. Like
Nobody
I said,
pays attention to Bellator.
I don't know, man. Not normally. Normally they don't. But I mean, some of the names they got. I mean, they're old
All
guys.
right, let me. Can I look at this?
Yeah, for
Can I
sure.
Look at this. We got Fedor versus Frank Mir.
Yeah, Fedor Emelianenko versus Frank Mir. Like, that's my dream fight. I don't know if you remember, but when this tournament first got announced,
Hold on. And I'll let you continue in a minute. But is it more fair to say that was your dream fight 15 years ago?
no. I'm just as compelled right now because
Wow.
they're at the same point in their career. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're both at the same point in their career. They're both living legends. I think it's going to be a great fight. I don't care what anybody says.
So are Jim Brown and Emmitt Smith, and I don't want to see them have a running back off.
Now stop though. Now if you could see like the
Scrabble.
85 Steelers play the 85 Bears in their entirety, that would be compelling.
Not right now.
Yes, it would.
It would not.
It would be.
Have you seen Terry Bradshaw?
I didn't say the 75 Steelers.
But the 85 Steelers were horrible. They did play the Bears,
Good
and they
call.
probably got wrecked.
Good call. So if you think those guys are old, listen to the next two. Chael Sonnen against Rampage Jackson.
I didn't think Sonnen was that old.
Yeah, Chael Sonnen's probably got to be pushing 42.
But he was just fighting in the UFC, 2 years ago?
Yeah. But they got USADA now. And you can't be 40 and fight MMA when they have USADA. You need to
What's
get
USADA?
The anti-doping agency.
I got you.
United States Anti-Doping Agency.
I'm following.
Yeah, so turns out over in Bellator that testing's not quite as strict. So a lot of these guys might look better than they have in their last few fights.
That
I
honestly
see.
leads me to my question, because I was about to ask, when did all of these big names that were in the UFC jump on over to Bellator?
I know.
I was going to
Rampage
ask, was
Jackson.
it on?
Yeah,
Hey, remember
at 250.
my favorite, and I like Rampage. I think he's hilarious.
Yeah,
and
he's
he's got a
great
good
dude.
attitude. But my favorite fight with him, he actually got absolutely wrecked, and it was him versus Forrest Griffin. Do you remember that fight?
I do remember that fight.
It was after that was still when Ultimate Fighter was a popular TV show. And I just remember Forrest Griffin absolutely wrecking his leg.
Nice.
He just kept leg kicking him. I thought Rampage's leg was just going to fall off.
Yeah.
He could barely stand by the time it was done.
Have you ever seen when guy gets Rampage in a triangle and Rampage literally picks him up over his head
Yeah.
and just
Slammed
slams
him.
him
I want to
unconscious?
say which one.
Yeah,
Because
I
I,
mean,
feel
that's-
like he's done that a lot.
That is an example I use a lot about not getting picked up
get
when you're
picked up.
when you're in the guard, man. I talk about that all the time. Like, that's one of my rules of the guard. Like, people watch Jiu-Jitsu and they're like, well, why wouldn't I just pick this guy up? Because I'm going to open my fucking legs and not let you.
Yeah.
Sweep you.
Because I'm smart. You're right to think that you would pick me up.
Yeah, that's the
It's
right
not
move.
going to happen.
It just turns out I figured that out a while ago.
Yeah, 'cause it hurts, man. You
Yeah, I
get
do not
knocked
want to get
out.
slammed on my neck.
I like to say that, like, your ability, because you do that. I mean, he's knocked people out like that.
Oh, he's knocked that dude unconscious in pride.
And it turns out that your ability to defend yourself when you're unconscious
It's non-existent.
goes down by about 100%.
I'll tell you what, I'll fight any black belt in America if they're unconscious.
For sure.
Give them a real
I'll fight
high-
anybody if they're
Yeah,
unconscious.
yes. I'll fight Francis Ngannou right now if you
was
give
just
him a
about to say,
sedative
sup,
to where he
Stipe?
cannot wake up during the fight.
Just put him into Twilight,
Yeah.
not the movie.
But, that's the other thing I've been looking at with that
Twilight
fight.
the movie,
Yeah. Well, no, with like,
sparkly vampires.
because I don't think Stipe is remotely intimidated by him. Like, when you see the interviews, he's just like, nah, dude, everybody in the heavyweight division can touch you and put you to sleep.
Well, but let's also say this. No one has ever given Stipe any fucking credit.
Ever.
It's always like, oh, this is the next guy that's going to wreck Stipe.
Yeah.
Oh, now he's up against the guy who's going to beat him.
Now he's fighting Alistair.
Oh, now this is the guy who's going to beat him.
Yep.
Oh, this is the guy who's going to crush Stipe. Like, and it's not like, oh, who's going to beat him? It's just like always assumed that he's going to lose.
Yeah.
It's not like it was with Ronda Rousey, like where it was like, oh, is this the girl who can beat her? Is this the one? It was like with him, it's
This
like
is the one.
it's just assumed he will lose.
Yeah.
Because
And the shitty thing is, man, he's so technical, like basics. All he does is basic, good, solid shit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he does, like his boxing. It's nothing special, but it's just very solid. He's taking the right angle. He's stepping off. You know, I don't know. I'm very biased, though. I have to acknowledge that.
I fucking love Steve.
I'm very biased.
So.
And then the next fight, this is actually a really good fight. If it was in the UFC or wherever, Roy Nelson against Matt Mitrione.
I do like Roy Nelson.
Yeah, because he makes us
There's
all feel.
something. Yeah, he makes the average guy feel like they
Yeah.
can do it, even though there's no way he's an average. He is a genetic freak.
Yeah, who drinks a lot of beer.
Most people who are built like him cannot do what he does.
Nah, he just drinks a lot of beer.
I'll never forget. I remember watching him, and because they made him go through the fucking Ultimate Fighter.
Oh god, that was the biggest
And
sham
that's
in the history of MMA.
Yeah, and
they
that's-
threw him in with the amateurs.
Yeah, and that's the one that he had that they had Kimbo Slice on.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget it. I think I've mentioned it before, but I remember watching that, and like they did this big introduction, because they always introduce all the guys who made the fight, and then they're I don't think they made Roy Nelson fight for the first round. Like in the
Yeah, they
first
let
round.
him in.
Yeah, and so like they're like, okay, guys, we have something really special coming in. This is like a really big deal. Like Dana White's like pumping it up, and he's like, Kimbo Slice. And I'll never forget, because they always cut to the interviews, and it's an interview of Roy Nelson, and they have like the black background and like the light shot. He's like, yeah, Dana White was making this big deal about someone special coming in, and I thought, oh, that's nice of him to introduce me like that, world champion and all this. And then he calls Kimbo Slice.
Yeah, because mind you, Roy
He's like,
Nelson had been
what was he
knocking
talking
dudes
about?
dead for like 5 years before that. in
I never
other
knew about that.
organizations.
See, I didn't know that either, so I just thought he was an arrogant ass. And then I watched him fight, and I'm like, oh, this dude's legit.
Yeah, he's a thug.
And here's the thing: he started in the jiu-jitsu circuit.
Isn't he a black
He
belt in
made it-
jiu-jitsu?
Yeah.
He's very good. at
Very,
jiu-jitsu.
very good.
Remember, he gave people on that top crucifix and
He
just hammer fist
Yeah,
him.
he just made it look so easy. Like that was not even a challenge to him. That was like sparring.
Yep, it was.
It was so unfair to even have him
Yeah.
there for any of those guys.
Yeah, poor
Kimbo Slice got destroyed in that. God rest
I
his
always
soul.
felt bad for
He
him.
passed away, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
hope
it
his
sucked.
family's
Whereas
dead.
he was
I will
doing pretty
say
good
this
towards the
about
end.
that show, though. It did give me a little bit more respect for him, because
because you realized he's a really nice.
he
guy.
seemed like a really
Yeah.
nice guy, and he was willing to learn. Like
Yes.
every time you saw him, like he was like, "Oh, what's that? What's this? What's that?"
Yep.
He was really cool.
I always thought he
So-
was going to do more in the end, but then again, he was a lot older.
I got to
Yeah.
see a lot of the interviews and some of the stuff about him, and he was just you could tell he was a really good person
Yeah,
off of it, so it does suck, but
A lot of steroids.
I think that's probably what it was
Yeah.
that took him.
No, yeah, I mean it's not great for the heart.
No. And then in the fourth fight, we got Ryan Bader against King Mo.
Peter.
You guys know who King Mo is?
No,
I've
no
heard
idea.
the name. I don't.
In my opinion, he's probably the most overrated fighter ever.
Okay.
Like, he's super hyped, like he's Stipe Miocic or something, but I've never seen him like look good to where I was like, oh, this guy can fight. But he's like a big name, you know what I mean? Like
Kind of like Ryan Bader.
Ryan Bader's legit,
I
man.
like Ryan Bader.
Yeah. Well, I mean they're all legit.
Yeah,
they're,
but Ryan Bader's a world champion
again
right now.
putting it out there. Any of them walks in here and says, "Hey, Bill, let's throw some hands."
You're trying to negotiate.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, how about I buy you a beer instead, man? We can just.
got this really nice sub shop.
Have
up
you
the
met
road.
Robbie? He says you're a pussy.
But that's like a personal rule for me. As soon as you come in, I don't care how big of a badass you are, I'm going to call you a bitch just so I get to roll you first. I'm going to lose.
Yeah.
I'm going to lose 100 times and 100 times, but I'm going to get to roll you.
I'm not gonna have to wait in line like everybody else.
Yeah, I'm just like, hey, who's this big dude? What's up? You want to fight?
Yeah.
And then I get crushed.
That's
Real
funny.
bad.
And then our teammate Max Holloway. I don't know if you guys know he's our teammate since we've never met him, but he's a Pedro Sauer guy.
Okay.
He's fighting Frankie Edgar.
All right.
Cool.
Do you guys
Awesome.
know who Frankie Edgar is?
Yes.
Yeah, he's that black-haired guy.
Yeah, little guy. He's
Little
like
guy
five
with
foot
dark hair.
five. Yeah.
Yeah.
Monster.
Yeah.
Monster.
He's
That's
been
gonna
around for a while.
Yeah, that's going to be an incredible fight. I'm a big Max Holloway fan. Once I found out he was a Pedro Sauer guy, I was like, oh, okay, cool.
So who's he under with Pedro Sauer?
Someone in Hawaii.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember the name of the place.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. But that's an exciting fight. That's going to be a great fight. Details more to come. I just seen it on online today.
So what else you got over here? You got knockout of the year.
We already covered it. I wasn't even going to touch it.
Oh,
you guys
okay.
already looked at the video. And
we watched the video.
Yeah,
I ruined it for you. I ruined it.
He got knockout of the year for that?
This is my
I
knockout.
think
I was like...
That's the Ed Whitney knockout of the year.
Do you have something for submission of the year?
I do.
Is it when I armbarred the fuck out of you?
It was an arm bar.
Oh, okay.
It was an arm bar. But
Ooh, I know which one you're talking about. I just seen people, they were asking, who would you pick for top submission of the year? They had 4 of them up.
Who?
I can't remember his name, but the one where you talking about the one where he gets that German suplex?
Yep.
Throws him right in the armbar?
Yeah.
Mighty
That
Mouse.
was
Mighty Mouse.
Mighty Mouse's
suplex
to armbar
It
transition.
was awesome.
That, in my
That's
opinion,
pretty impressive.
That was incredible.
Is it as good as when I kick your ass, though?
Yeah, I would say his looks prettier.
That was pretty cool.
And my other one was, and it wasn't really so spectacular, but the fact that he submitted somebody from inside the guard to win the UFC World Championship when Tony Ferguson won by triangle.
Yeah, that's
that
a
was
good
my
one,
other
too.
one.
Turd Fergler.
Yeah, because as high a level as everybody is.
What'd you say?
That's what he says every time, Turd Fergler. That's his name.
I'm sorry.
But just everybody's such a high level nowadays in the UFC. To see somebody win by submission from the guard is pretty rare.
Yeah.
And to win a world championship with a basic triangle, I mean, he modified it a little bit, but that was my other nominee.
Yeah, that's a really good one. Yeah. That is a really good one. We talked about that one in depth, actually.
Yeah, we sure did. So
I
those
believe
are
we did
two.
a breakdown watching it.
Yeah. It was amazing.
So Robbie, just so you know where Turd Fergler comes from, that's a there's an old Saturday Night Live sketch with
Before my time, huh?
yeah, what the hell is his name? I can't remember his name. Anyway, point is, someone pretending to be Sean Connery is messing with Alex Trebek in Jeopardy, and he keeps calling him Turd Fergler, it's Sean Connery keeps messing with Alex Trebek, but also Burt Reynolds. There's a guy pretending to be Burt Reynolds, and he just keeps saying weird stuff out of nowhere. And that's one of the things he goes, Turd Fergler. It's a really funny name, isn't it? It's funny. That's out of nowhere. Like didn't relate to anything. You got to watch that sketch.
You guys ever met somebody in real life with an obscenely hilarious name? And you're like, your parents
Dude,
were
have
assholes.
you looked at some of the names on these?
But these are just foreign. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Okay.
foreign is one, like Vulcan
Vulcan?
Ozdemir.
Vulcan is
For all we
foreign?
know, somewhere in Russia, Vulcan is like Mike. You know what I mean? Like, I'm
Maybe.
talking about like American-born, just hilarious names. I'll give you an example. I went to school with a kid's name. His name was Richard Cranium.
Dickhead.
Yeah, just let that soak in for a second. Richard Cranium. His parents did not do that by accident.
You don't think so?
Laughing.
Dick Cranium. I mean, come on, dickhead. Richard Cranium.
You don't think they did that by accident?
Nah, I don't think so, man. Not in a million fucking years.
You think they were a little high?
Yeah,
and
they
like,
thought
hey,
it was
you know,
just,
it'd be funny.
yeah, he was 3 bush lights deep, and he's like, "Sweetie, we're naming him Richard. Hear me out. Hear me out."
She's like, okay, dear.
Yeah, she's like, "Give me another beer."
Oh,
That shit's hilarious.
Yeah.
Robbie, what's going on in the news, man?
That's asking the wrong one.
Yeah. He's like, I'm a millennial. I get my news from Facebook.
Nobody told me
More.
any news today.
Yeah.
I'm just not trying to drag this podcast down.
Nobody tagged me in anything on Facebook.
Yeah, Robbie starts talking. Everybody's trash. Everybody's.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to start hating me real quick.
That's funny.
All
I don't
right.
share popular opinion on politics.
All right, let's move on.
Well, yeah, we won't talk about politics.
I'm
Actually,
like,
speaking of politics, like I realized the other day, and this is, I don't want to get political about it or like how you feel about it, or yes or no, but I realized like Trump's been the president for a year.
Mm-hmm.
It's only been a year.
I know.
Like
I'm
I feel
so tired of it.
me too. It's and like I'm not even
Not
talking
politically based.
It's just there's so much hate on
Just
both sides.
So tired of hearing it. Yes.
It feels like it should be time for another election already.
Oh Jesus! Don't do that
That's
to
been
us.
going pretty hard.
Yeah.
Oh man,
I got one for you, Billy. Have you ever seen Khabib fight? Khabib
Nope.
Nurmagomedov.
No.
No.
Is he the one with the awesome hat?
I heard he's really
Yes.
good though.
He's my guy that I want you to watch because I feel like he would get you into UFC.
Pull up a clip of him, Robbie.
Because his fighting style is literally take them down, get to a dominant position, and then punch them until the round ends.
Oh, that's how Bill rolls.
Yes, that's why I thought.
That's how I roll.
This is how Bill pitch. He's actually a sambo guy.
Yeah.
And wrestling guy, but it's just positional dominance and beat the shit out of them.
Yeah, it's funny because like I roll people, and I think we've talked about this too.
Yeah.
Like they'll like grab their collars or like cross their arms when I'm down on top of them, and I just
defense.
Yeah, and I'm just like, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
Like, okay, good. I'm gonna start hitting you in the head, dude.
Definitely don't need to watch this whole video. It's like 9 minutes of just his 2017
Oh, he's a
highlights.
lanky dude, huh?
Oh yeah,
he's
a monster.
Okay,
He's got a pretty awesome hat he wears. That what is it for? It's for the herders.
Yeah,
where
but
he's
you
from.
guys know where those hats come from?
I don't know. He's not wearing a
I
hat.
thought Joe
I'm watching
Rogan
him fight.
explained it that he had like a conversation with him.
So they go inside of a pregnant cow, extract the fetus, and then remove its fur, and they make it out of cow fetus. So that's how they make those hats.
Well, there you go, Robbie.
So
you want one?
You want one?
Awesome.
I haven't seen him do any jiu-jitsu. He's just beating people up.
Oh yeah.
That's fine.
Fights. He just, like I said, top
just
half
mauls
guard.
them?
Yeah, it's top half guard. I don't understand why they're showing all this stand-up. His stand-up is,
I mean, it's always how a video with highlights is going to start off.
is average at
Again,
best.
better than mine, but
Yeah.
Think about it. A lot of people don't understand jiu-jitsu, so they want to see a lot of that
This might be
stand
the
and
worst
bang.
video. Oh yeah,
right. I just
could be-
fast-forwarded.
Yeah,
Oh, nice throw.
yeah.
Good. Oh, he's got good control here. Come on, man. Oh, no, I see what they're doing. They've started with the stand-up, then they go to the throws. Now they're going to have the jiu-jitsu. Oh, we got more throw highlights. Come on.
Oh, that's his game.
Yeah.
But it's all the throws we do.
That's fine. Oh, here we go. Oh, come on.
That's him. That's what he does.
That's what I want to see.
That's what he does right there.
Yes. Yeah, see, that's how you do the mount.
Yeah, you mount
Oh, look,
punch their face.
and then you take their back.
Yep.
And then you keep hitting them.
Yeah, yes. He
that's
doesn't.
it.
He said, "Fuck a choke. I'm going to continue to punch this guy." That's what he does. He's capable of punching people for 25 minutes straight.
That's how you do it, man. I like it. He's just beating this guy. I could watch this all day.
The way he triangles their thigh.
Yeah, I see it.
This is every fight he's ever been in. He's 25-0, and every fight ends like this.
He's got really good control. He just straight grabs their head, like, get back over here. Just keeps smashing them.
Oh, look at that mounted crucifix.
Mounted crucifix.
Screwed now, you might as well tap.
That's done. Yep, that's done.
And mind you, this is 3 different guys he's done it to. This ain't the same fight. They keep going back and forth between fights.
Look, that guy is trying to give him the back of his head so that he can't punch him.
Yep.
Like, how much of a pussy you have to be like, oh, I'm going to turn so you're punching the back of my head.
You
that doesn't
say
count.
that, but he has Khabib Nurmagomedov on top of him.
Fucking tap.
That's the other option.
To me, like, I feel like, thank you, Robbie.
Yeah.
I'm handing Robbie back his phone, if you're wondering one thing.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like if you have to do something, like, force someone to do something illegal, that should be an automatic loss.
I don't know that he was necessarily trying to do it illegal, just trying to hide his nose from the barrage of punches
He was giving him the back of the head, hoping he was going to
I
get
don't
hit
know.
on the back of the head.
It's easy to say when I'm not getting punched in my face. You know? But yeah, so that's my guy that I think if you watched him fight a few times, you'd be into the UFC. Because he does it, in my opinion, the way it's supposed to be done.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Do we know if Damian Maia's on the next card?
Damian Maia retired, man.
Did he?
What?
Yep.
Good for him.
Yep.
He's probably getting a little old for it, too.
He's almost 40, man.
He was killing it. I saw him again on, we were in the gym yesterday, and they came up on the UFC Unleashed. I was throwing him up there.
Yeah.
How he just picks a submission, and he's like, I'm gonna get it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take the submission.
He pretty much is. I mean,
Yep.
that's what I like. I like, and I think I've said it before, I have nothing against sport jiu-jitsu. I actually very much like it.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of really cool aspects of it. But I just personally prefer what I would call, more traditional jiu-jitsu, where
Self-defense?
yeah, well, more just control-based jiu-jitsu,
Yeah.
where I'm just going to control a position that I could easily hit you from or stand from or get away. It's not about trying to necessarily trick you as much as just use your body against you.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And mush you with gravity.
Honestly, I feel like that's what I'm considering self-defense.
yeah.
Something that's
I mean,
gonna save me completely. Where you can just immobilize them until the
and that's the
situation's
goal.
over.
Or like, we're doing a self-defense series, shameless plug on our YouTube thing about knife defense on the ground. And shameless plug. Yeah, that's my shameless plug.
I'm just picturing like
comment, like, subscribe.
Bill plugging something in without shame.
yeah, fucked up.
So, but we're doing that on there, and like the way you do jiu-jitsu and what you're looking for and how you're handling it, like, my goal, if I'm on the ground, someone probably tackled me or something. Why am I even on the ground? Mm-hmm. In a fight, when I don't know, there might be people around me. There might, and if I'm on my back, like, that's the other thing. People are like, why are you going to pull guard in a fight? I'm not. Yeah. I'm going to pull guard because I don't want you to jump on top of me. It's an accident, I slipped and fell, or you tackled me, or something like that, and so I wrapped my legs around you real quick
for safety.
Yeah,
so I can get up.
And we're examining like the first part, which actually just went up today on YouTube. Is more just about like, how am I recognizing that they even have a weapon? In the middle of the chaos of a fight. And then the second part's going to be some just technical ideas.
Yeah.
And concepts that you're going to go for, because there's no right answer.
It's
like, everybody's like,
knife.
this is how you defend a knife. Go fuck yourself.
It's terrifying.
You know what you're going to do? You're going to do anything it takes to survive.
You know what else you're going to do? You're going to get fucking cut.
Yeah.
That's
I did get tagged in a video that was pretty funny, but I thought it was honestly one of the best ones. He was like, it was just this big ripped dude in the Muay Thai shorts, and he's like, this is the #1 way on how to stop a knife. And he just goes, all right, you ready? And
he runs, yeah.
And I was like, man, like,
yeah.
Honestly, it's #1 for me, because I'm not trying to get stabbed. But if it gets down to those parts where you're cornered, it's 1-on-1, you have no choice but to defend your life.
Well, spoiler alert. I mean, in part 2, we're gonna, because part 1 was kind of like, how am I stopping you from even accessing it? Part 2 is going to be like, oh, I recognized you were going for it, but I was too late to stop your access. Now what? I mean, long story short, it is, I have to now take all of my effort to not let that come to me.
Yeah.
There is no submission. There's no, it's not get stabbed first. Like,
it's life or death, man.
Yeah. So anyway, what else we got? We got anything else, Ed?
That's all I got, man.
All right. What about you, Robbie? You got anything you wanted to talk about?
We really hit that. My biggest thing that I was coming in here to talk to you about was the jiu-jitsu down in Brazil, about blue belts, purple belts, and brown belts not teaching.
Yeah, I sent my wife a text. I can't teach class anymore.
Yeah. I mean, I immediately fired you and Robbie and Tommy and
what?
Joe and Nate, Kendall.
I wonder if that applies to kids' classes too.
Who cares?
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck what they say.
Fair enough. And on that note, thanks for listening.
Like I said, unless someone's going to come in here and supplement all my income that I get to lose when I can't have instructors, then they can go screw themselves.
Yep.
That's how I feel about that.
They can pay me for not coming.
Yeah.
Funny thing is, I'll still come out, hang out, and still help with class. Now what? I'm not getting paid for it. You can't stop me.
Yeah.
I can volunteer to do whatever the fuck I want.
That's hilarious. All right, guys. Well, listen, thanks for being on here, Robbie. It's always a pleasure to have guests, and you're a funny guy. People like you.
Thanks.
Very likable dude.
Yeah. And Ed, as always, pleasure. It's good to be back into the swing of things.
No idea.
Now I got to get this thing posted. I got to do the whole...
The work part of it?
Yeah, I mean, what? That's a pain in the butt.
The hour of bullshitting is easy.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for listening to the podcast. I'm Bill Jones. Ed, how can they get a hold of us? Do you even remember?
So many ways.
But do you remember them?
blackbelttips@gmail.com. Black Belt Tips on Facebook. Top Level GJJ.
Yeah, at Top Level GJJ. That's me on Twitter.
Am I forgetting one?
You on Twitter?
Oh, Eddie Jiu-Jitsu 33.
I think it's at Eddie Jiu-Jitsu 33.
Oh, I'm sorry. At Eddie Jiu-Jitsu.
Millennials will get confused.
33.
Are you okay, Robbie? You got that?
I changed mine.
Robbie, if they want to get a hold of you, can they get a hold of you? Or
yes,
do you want to keep it a secret?
No, I changed it because last time you made so much fun. So I made it obviously a better one.
The Ginger
Big
Ninja.
Red Machine. BJJ.
At Big Red Machine.
The Ginger
I just
Ninja.
can't take Ginger Ninja because there's that badass dude on Instagram, YouTube, everything. And he's just
is there one?
a high-flying
Already?
Ginger Ninja. He's crazy.
All right, guys. Well, again, thanks for listening. I'm Bill Jones here with Edward Whitney and Robbie Gorham, and we are out.